Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone, this is going to be a quick video on how I cook my 30-minute chicken karahi. I uploaded some photographs of this curry on my Instagram account and lots of you were interested in how I cooked the curry and many of you requested a video. So I'm briefly going to walk you through everything I did. The curry took me about 30 to 35 minutes. Might take you a little bit longer depending on how quick you are as a cook and how quickly you can prepare your ingredients. I'm using a wok today because I don't own a karahi, but that's fine. Just make sure it has a heavy base. So to start with, I've heated about 100 to 150 milliliters of oil in my wok, and I'm just adding some whole spices. So to my hot oil I've added 3 bay leaves, 2 cinnamon sticks, 3 cardamom pods, and I'm just adding a pinch of fenugreek seeds here. Now fenugreek is also known as methi seeds, and you can use dried methi leaves if you want to, but you should use the dried methi leaves towards the end of your cooking rather than at this stage. One other thing that I wanted to point out to you was that while my oil was heating up, there's a fair amount of oil and it takes a while to heat up, and the wok is quite heavy. I chopped my 2 onions and my 3 green chilies in this time. So this is what actually time saves and speeds up the process of cooking. You're utilizing every single minute. Now once the whole spices have released their aromas, I've just added, as you can see there, 1 teaspoon of crushed garlic. Let that fry, and I'm also going to be adding 1 teaspoon of crushed ginger. Now let the whole spices and the crushed ginger and garlic just fry until they're golden brown. Okay. And that's just my hand going over the front of my phone, making sure that my phone wasn't overheating, because I was filming this from above and I was worried that my phone was getting really hot because I was cooking this over quite a high flame, but it was fine. Now once your ginger and your garlic look like they do in the video there, you want to go ahead and add both of your chopped onions. And like I said earlier, I chopped my onions while my oil was heating up, and I also chopped my green chilies, so they're all ready to go. After you've added the onions, you want to add about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. If you're watching the amount of salt that you're eating, use 1 teaspoon, and if you feel like you need any more, you can add it towards the end of your cooking, not a problem. So after you've added the salt, give everything a good mix through and keep the flame on high at this stage. Next we're going to be adding some passata, and the reason why I like adding passata is because I think it adds a lot of colour and a lot of flavour to a curry. I don't actually use a lot of passata in my cooking. I use about 2 to 3 tablespoons because I find it overtakes the power of the spices otherwise, and I quite like to be able to taste my spices. I don't like it all tangy and sour. Now as it was the last of my jar, I added some water to the passata to actually get it out of the jar, but you should add water anyway. So after you've added your 2 to 3 tablespoons of passata, make sure you add some water, because water creates the steam, which in turn cooks your onions through quickly. Now add your green chilies, give everything a good mix, and you want to pop the lid onto that and let that cook through for a few minutes. So while the onions simmer, you can prepare your ground spices ready for adding next, because we'll be adding those next. After 2 to 3 minutes, your onions will look semi-translucent like they do in the video there. Now I know you're thinking they're not even cooked. They will be cooked by the time you add your chicken. Look at that colour on that curry. The passata adds, like I said, such a lovely colour to the curry, which is why I add it. And that's without any turmeric or chili powder there. Now next you want to add your spices. So I'm starting with 1 teaspoon of Bols mixed curry powder, and I was adding these from the jar as I was filming, so bear with me. 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of Raja mixed curry powder, and I will explain why I add 2 different types. 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder, and I use a mild version. This is actually really vibrant in colour than normal chili powder, which is why I use it, so it adds a lot of colour without that intense heat. 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, and last but not least 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. Now the reason why I use 2 different types of mixed curry powder is because I like the different flavors that both of them bring to a curry. Now if you don't use 2 different types of mixed curry powders in your cooking, that's absolutely fine. Just add 2 teaspoons of the same mixed curry powder. Give those a good mix and just let those saute while you go and wash your chicken. Okay, so let those spices and the onions, the masala fry uncovered like that for about 5 to 8 minutes while you go off and wash your chicken. Now I've edited that part of the video out. This is about 8 minutes later. I've washed my chicken and I let my onions fry, and as you can see, they're completely cooked. They don't look, you know, opaque. They're completely translucent, and it's ready for adding my chicken to. This is the concept behind cooking a quick curry like this. You want to always utilize every minute that you have and try and do something with that time. Now if I had started washing my chicken before I started cooking, you know, chopping my onions before I had started getting the wok on and the oil heated up, it actually adds to the total cooking time and it just makes it a longer process. So always think about what you can do while you've got the masala going or while you've got the oil heating up, so that it makes the cooking process a lot quicker and shorter. So once you've coated all of your chicken pieces, what we're going to do is we're going to let the chicken cook uncovered like that for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now after 2 to 3 minutes, your chicken pieces will look like they do in the video there. They'll be cooked on one side and the top side will be obviously still pink. So you want to rotate all of the chicken pieces and let the other side cook through. All we're doing is we're searing the meat, we're just locking in all of the moisture in the chicken pieces so that we have nice juicy chicken pieces instead of dry pieces. Now once the chicken pieces look fairly white on the outside and not so pink anymore, you want to cover your wok and turn down the heat. We're going to now let the chicken pieces cook through completely from the inside out. So make sure that the flame is turned down fairly low. So every now and again you want to come along like I'm doing here and give the curry a good stir. Make sure that you're rotating all of the chicken pieces, that nothing is burning and nothing is getting, you know, stuck to the bottom of the wok. And you will find that as time progresses, a lot of fluid is released from the chicken pieces, or you should find that. Now I've cooked this quite a few times. On some occasions I have found that my chicken hasn't released a lot of fluid, and on those occasions I've just added like half a cup or 3/4 of a cup. But as you can see here, I haven't needed to add anything, and for me personally, the amount of fluid that is in the curry there is more than enough. Should you want more, you can obviously go ahead and add some more. Now from the point you add all your chicken pieces to it completely cooking through, it should take you about 20 minutes, which is what it took me. So about 10 minutes for my masala to get done, for my onions and spices to get done, and then 20 minutes for the chicken. And just make sure that you come along and you keep an eye on it and you mix everything and then cover it. So let your chicken curry cook covered like that until you're happy that all the chicken pieces have completely cooked through. And at this point in the video, as you can see, my chicken curry was completely done and I was happy with the amount of gravy that I had. Now if for any reason, like I said, your chicken pieces don't release a lot of fluid, you can always add half to 3/4 of a cup of water and just let that boil through. I have cooked it on some occasions and the chicken hasn't released a lot of fluid, so I've just added some water. All I'm doing here now is I've taken a clean kitchen towel, because I like to present my chicken curry when I've cooked them in a wok on the dining table. I actually like to just neaten it up and clean the inner rim of the wok itself. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the full step-by-step recipe on my website www.afeliaskitchen.com, and don't forget to garnish your curry with some coriander like I'm doing here. And my coriander is always frozen and chopped ready to be added. If you don't have frozen, just get some fresh and make sure you add that on top, and give the curry a thumbs up when you check it out like I'm doing here. Let that rest for about 5 to 10 minutes before you serve it. This will bring all the oil up to the top of the curry and your curry will look wonderful like that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video and I hope you've learned something from it. Until next time, see you. Bye.